Do you love old cars and trucks? Join us on Bring 'em Back to Life, where we search the salvage yards and backyards of America to find that gold mine of a parts car or that restorable gem in the rough. Come with us down memory lane as we elevate the status of our salvage yards to outdoor museums of automotive history.
I'm Dave DeGear. We're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and my business is Broadway Truck Salvage. Now, we used to be a truck salvage business and we never changed the name. We do auto and truck repair now and build custom vehicles for people. We do welding and hydraulic work, and as a hobby we just collect old cars.
So we saw the old cars driving down Broadway and said, oh, let's stop and see if we can meet somebody there. And some are for sale, right?
Most of them are for sale. Most of them are mine, but I store cars for other people, and a lot of their cars are for sale also.
Thank you. So we're going to walk around the yard and you will identify cars that are for sale, and then any other projects you want to share with us, you tell us about them and we'll give them a spot on a show.
Great.
And what year is that Studebaker, Dave?
1940. So I saved the cab, and then we put it on a 1-ton Chevy frame, and we made the pickup bed and the running boards and all that to make it into a 1-ton dually.
Now, is that truck on site here that you can show it to us?
Really?
Wow, that's nice. Well, see, my show, that's perfect. Just bring them back to life, and it doesn't matter whether you keep them stock or modernize them. Right. Just enjoy them.
Now, this is one we did for a customer. He wanted, he said, I've been driving a 1-ton dually for 2 years and I'm tired of wimpy truck. Can you build a bigger truck? So he brought us this, and we made that out of it. Wow. So that's the before picture. And then we made a crew cab, extended cab.
Now, is that like a 450 Chevrolet?
It's bigger.
Bigger?
Yeah.
Kodiak, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kodiak.
Wow. So you do custom work for customers as well?
Right.
Okay. Well,
I got to support my habit somehow.
we understood.
So here's another picture of me standing next to that truck. And then we took another old farm truck, a Diamond T, and made our car hauler out of it. And it's a 1949 Diamond T. And in that picture we also have a matching trailer.
Wow.
This is,
Ranch wagon.
this is a friend of mine. We helped him some 57 Ford ranch wagon. So it's a 2-door. And we're getting ready. We'll be going down to the Scottsdale Good Guys show next month. So we're getting Adam's car ready.
Cool.
So we have to drop the gas tank or what?
Yeah. Yeah, because we're going to get the fuel gauge out and try it, and then we've got some information on how we're going to calibrate it with the gauges that are in it.
So this has quite a few modifications for safety and convenience.
Yes, it's got disc brakes, it's got seat belts that it didn't have originally, a little bit more modern engine. This is a Jeep. It's actually what's called a fleet van. And they made, to my understanding is they made 1,100 of these. 1,000 of them went to the post office. They were right-hand drive, and 100 of them went for private use. This belongs to a fellow down in Fort Worth, Texas, and he sent it to us to do some modifications on it. Wow. So we put disc brakes on the front, rack and pinion steering, fuel-injected V6 engine. He's going to use it as a catering truck.
Small business. It's a small truck. Wow. Cater. Sweet.
So one of 100 left-hand drive of this era.
Right. And so the guy asked me, he said, am I going to be able to drive this back to Fort Worth? I'm thinking, I wouldn't drive this to Fort Worth, but I told him, yeah, you can drive it.
You can.
I mean, some of these roads that Ron took me on yesterday, that's going to be like a kite.
We got some wind out here. That's a moving billboard right there.
Oh, can I guess 1969?
Well, you're very good. They made them 69 through 71. This is 71.
Continental Mark III?
Yes, it is. This is going to be in a national show on Saturday. There's a national Lincoln show here in town.
It is for sale, huh?
Yeah, it's here because we're going to do some final cleanup on it before the show. And in fact, another gentleman sent that Continental Mark IV down for us to detail it for the show.
Now that show is going to be in Albuquerque?
Right.
Okay. All right. There's another one of them.
This is another car we're modifying. Another 56 Ford. Well, I say another because I don't know if you saw the picture in the office of a 56 Ford ranch wagon.
Yes.
This is a 56 Ford four-door wagon, but it's got four-wheel disc brakes and it's got the fuel-injected 5-liter Ford engine in it.
It looks like you took a complete drivetrain out of something much more modern and just made it secure.
That's correct.
Like my Nomad.
Yeah.
Nomad had that.
Right.
The sliding back window.
And then you asked about the Studebaker picture. We have another one, 53 Studebaker Coupe, and we've modified it to look like a Bonneville race car.
Hey, Ron, look what's under there. Look at that.
A whole floor.
A whole floor.
A whole floor.
We're from Connecticut.
Connecticut doesn't have a whole floor.
And this is
Some of them don't even have any
we're
floor.
finishing up the bodywork, so this is on our rotisserie.
Uh-huh.
Well, when Ron and I were kids in Connecticut,
Yeah.
our grandfather had that model at 55. President.
Little
Yeah.
Two-door sedan. That's been lowered too.
Yeah, it's chopped 5 inches, and the whole car's been lowered 2 inches.
Yeah.
We built the car, and then we took it apart to do the finish work.
Right. Wow. That's gonna look cool.
Looks cool now.
Yes, it does.
Show you the kind of rust we have out here. Where was it? Well, I think it's right there. There's one little spot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
New Mexico rust.
In New Mexico.
Aerodynamics. What those do, those tubes relieve the air pressure under the car, and then they break the vacuum behind the back window at high speed, how cars can lift in the back at high speed, and that's going to equalize those air pressures.
Oh, awesome.
That's a neat
You
trick.
learned something the other day.
Yep.
I'll show you on the other side. You can see where they come out right here. And they pass all the way through the trunk.
Would that be a 50s era?
That's a 1954 Farmall.
Yeah. Nice front end bucket load, a lot of hydraulics, yeah.
And we rebuilt all the hydraulics. That's all that was wrong with it. It was leaking hydraulics. We rebuilt the carburetor, but it hadn't been sitting a long time. Right?
So that's out here now because it's for sale?
Right.
Okay. Yep. Looks like a pretty complete car.
59 Mercury 4-door. It's for sale.
Monterey. Oh, an early
59 Ranchero, Ford Ranchero.
Still got the tin in the bed too.
Yeah, this one does have some rust on the rockers.
Right there in front of the tires, yeah. Now this must be a 50s era Volvo.
I don't remember exactly the year on it, but yes, it's a 444. I've got a couple of these that I would sell as a package.
Okay.
Put them together.
Are the others also two-door cars?
Exactly the same car.
Exactly the same car.
Much more complete. How about parts to finish this? and it turned out to be a much better car, much more complete, and with a title. This doesn't have a title.
I'm just showing this because it's the twin to the one in the front.
Right. And most of the extra parts for both of them are inside this car.
Yeah.
Now, a Volvo historian will look at that plate and be able to know what year it is.
Yeah.
I don't.
I could look at the title and tell you what year also, but it's locked up in the office.
It's in a file, yes. This tag on this steering box says 761. That's a clue. Okay, and yeah, my cousin spotted this little Suburban. I found one of these in North Dakota in June.
We're doing this for a customer. He's kind of waiting on it right now, but the front frame is Chevy S10. We cut the frame in about the middle and put Chevy S10 frame under the front. So it's got disc brakes and, and it's narrow. It's got the S10 rear axle in the back, and it has a Chevy V8 in it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be up there in that.
Yeah, there's going to be a sharp little ride. One of the last El Caminos.
Last year, 1987. That's the last year they made it. And I got it from a guy down in the Dallas area. This is a 1987. He bought it in '88. So I just got it from him a few months ago.
So he bought it as a leftover.
Yeah.
Or it was used, but barely.
Very nice car.
I gotta show this little Fairlane.
Yeah. I think it's a 1964.
I think so too.
4-door, 6-cylinder. Nice clean car.
Automatic or stick?
Stick, I think. Nope, automatic.
Well, if my good buddy Ernie from Florida is watching, this is for you. He has one of these.
Oh, does he?
He's been upgrading it, modifying it to be more driver friendly and functional for years and years. And well, he loves it now.
This is a 1954 Chevy pickup truck. I think there's about 15,000 miles on this car. We've had it down to the shows in Scottsdale a couple times.
That's an F6. Same thing, a nice cabin nose for a modern rod.
I think this is about 1949. I don't have paperwork on this really, but it's the actual REO Speedwagon. It used to have an emblem on the side that said Speedwagon.
Right.
This GMC truck is already sold. The guy just hasn't picked it up yet.
Oh, really?
Now, is this 55 Crown Vic something for the customer also?
I'm half owner of this, and we're gonna paint it and get it pretty much back together. It's not a complete car. It doesn't have an engine. Does not have the original interior. But he's got all the trim for it, so it's complete.
Well, you put a modern drivetrain, 12 volts, and custom interior, and you got a beautiful ride.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to. A lot of these are not complete cars.
Yeah, but I find a lot of people watching my show don't have complete cars, and they're looking for others that'll finish theirs.
Yeah.
Like that convertible. That's a rare and valuable frame. I know somebody in Connecticut that would like that right now if the frame isn't broken.
It's bent a little bit. It got hit on this side.
Yeah, but bent you can straighten. Rot is difficult.
No, it's not rusted out.
Is that a 62?
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-door wagon. Another 4-door on the other side of it.
Oh, that's a 9?
Yeah, 59.
59. Who knows customized like that? It fools you. So, but yeah, that 2-door wagon. Yeah. That's a beautiful little Fairlane wagon.
Yeah.
Hits. Yeah.
It's not hurt that bad. I mean, it's a V-pillar, but it has a little 260 V8 with air conditioning.
Right. Great parts car to save one.
Yep.
If not, you know. Then an Edsel. Yep. This is 61 4-door.
Yeah, in fact, I think all these are 61s.
Yeah.
And the convertible.
Uh-huh. Yep. Well, that's what I try to show, because you never know. People are finishing projects and they need one last piece, or they need a few more. You know, a 59 2-door. No, that's a 4-door. Somebody was working on that. Project didn't get done, that's all.
Well, a lot of these cars out through here are owned by other people. They're just storing them.
Okay.
But I think they could be for sale.
Okay, Johnny, I showed a little bit of video while the compressor was on, and you've got a lot of this nice expensive filler smoothed over. You're working on the ridges now on the door jamb.
Yeah, that's where we're at, Mr. Dennis. We are over here on the inside. As you can see, if you want a close-up where we'd welded into pieces and ground it down, we've taken Duraglass and filled in the seams. And what we're going to do now is take 180 sandpaper, 180 grit, and we're going to softly, it's called molding your edges. You take your finger, sometimes you take a piece of wood, whatever works best for you, and you just smooth it out. You can fold it any which way you need it, however you want to move it, make it work. What we're accomplishing here is to keep the contrast to the body line. And that body line's been altered since we had welded it on with a new quarter panel. Don't be afraid to turn your paper. Use it however you can make yourself comfortable. There's 1,000 different ways to do this. This is how I prefer to do it. I'm sure plenty of other people have 100 different ways, but this is the easiest for me, and it's how I was taught. And it works out pretty good. It's not a whole lot of sanding, but it's just enough to take the gaps. Now we don't have to make this perfect because we are going to use a 2-part primer, which is an epoxy primer, which is called primer sealer. And when we put the primer sealer on this, after we tape up the door mechanism, we let it harden and cure, and then we sand the primer down, and that'll fill in any little ridge or any little hole or pit. And then if that doesn't work after we're done, we take which is called the icing epoxy. It's a smooth filler that'll just fill in any little cracks or bubbles that you missed. Like if you can see right here in the edge, there's a little divot right here that was missed when it came through. The epoxy putty is just a skim coat. We'll put it over that, we'll sand it down, throw some primer on that, and that may even be enough to fill in with primer. I'm not sure yet until we start priming. But just trying to rough out the edges. As you can see, this is a rough cut. It's sanded flat as I can get with a DA. You notice there's still some ridges and holes, but this is going to be covered. Ideally, we would like to use a new quarter panel, but we don't have that kind of money, so we're going to take a skim coat of Bondo and go over the whole thing and then block it down, which we'll go through step by step as soon as we get some more time here. But for now, we're just going to button this up, and we live in New England, so the weather's not always too promising. It's raining outside, so any body guy knows when it's raining outside, the moisture and dampness, you can't do body work because nothing to hold or stick, and the metal's cold and damp. And we're in June, we don't want 100-degree weather right now, so we'll try to make it work the best we can with what we got.